Hi, I'm Brenda Bingham with the Blue Star Mothers here in Enid, and I have with me today Jolene Taylor, our treasurer, and she's going to share with you about our meetings and times.
Okay, we have our business meeting on the second Thursday of every month at 6:30 at our store there in the Oakwood Mall. And we pack our boxes the fourth Thursday of every month at the Oakwood Mall in our store.
And our store is located, if you're a new viewer, our store is located between the Cookie Company and Dillard's. And we're there on Thursdays and Fridays from 10 to 5. And if we're not there, you can leave donations at the security desk down by the train station. And we're going to share a little bit of what's going on with us. We're preparing we'll have our elections coming up, and we will be preparing for that. And hopefully we'll get we would like to have some new moms join us and get a taste of what it is to be a Blue Star mom, because it really is an honor to be a Blue Star mom. Don't you think, Jolene?
Yes, I do. You have so many people that thank you for what we do every month, you know, and and you'll have soldiers that we've sent boxes to come over and thank you, and you know, everybody's just appreciate, you know, you're always having somebody tell you how they appreciate what you do.
That's very true. Sometimes we get little gifts like a picture, or like we've got a flag hanging in the store that was brought over from a guy. Well, it was Richard Koch's son. He's in the Air Force. And this certain flag flew over Iraq and Afghanistan. And so they brought it back, and it's got a picture, and the flag itself is in a frame, and then there's a certificate of the...
But he's Army.
Yes, he is Army, sorry. But it was the pilot that was flying the flag over. That's where my confusion is. But anyway, we're proud of all of them, no matter what service they're in. But we've got a rug in there that is from Iraq, and that's been in there for a while.
We got the other day, this gentleman's uncle passed away, and he was going through his stuff, and they found this flag. And he brought it in. It's all tattered and stained, and he said, "Can you see what's different with it?" And I'm looking, you know, I didn't really see anything. And he said, "It's only 48 stars." And it was amazing. I got to looking at it. The stars are cloth, and they're sewn on, and on both sides is a star that's sewn back to back, and it's just amazing how perfect it is, you know, to sew two stars together on another piece of cloth.
Is it hand stitched, you think?
No, it's machine.
Wow. Well, you know, I mean, now I ask, is it hand stitched? I hung it in the store, but it's very old. It's amazing to see it, but we have it hung in the store. So if you're out and about, you might stop by just to see a few things that we have from the Vietnam era too, and the, you know, what was this one? 1940s.
I'm not sure.
I don't, you know, I don't go back
I don't know how far back they had 48.
I thought he said World War II, so.
Maybe, but we have a World War I in that uniform sitting right there by it, so that's, you know, makes it interesting.
So I guess we should read up on history a little bit. Anyway. Okay, and then we have some fundraisers coming up. We don't have anything in July, I don't believe. We'll just be getting prepared for our new boxes that we'll be sending out. We have 300 that I think it's National Guard that is going to Korea. Then we have approximately 300 who are going to Ukraine, and they was already partially over there and waiting to go on into Ukraine. And the other part that they're replacing is on their way home. So we will have probably the same amount of boxes or a few more than what we have been sending, which is around 100 boxes a month. And as you know, it takes a lot of money to send these boxes. It's $13.65 per box, and it is the items that go in the box. So we still need all of the items that we send, which is like eye wash,
Beef jerky.
foot powder, socks.
We have
Gosh.
toothpaste and toothbrushes.
Yes,
we have a lot of
a
them.
lot of that.
But
So lip gloss or lip balm, chapstick.
loose candy we can always use because we use that for filler if there's some loose spots
Right.
in the boxes, you know.
And we're low on the tissues that we send them, which is the little packages of the tissues like that they can stick in their pocket. And now we used to say we had lots of popcorn from the Boy Scouts, but now we're saying we need some popcorn. We kind of go back and forth with what we need and what we don't need. So some of those items is things that we need. So if you are a church group, a group of anything that you would like to help us out with, we've had the XL Camper Club, and we've had different clubs around and different church groups and all that helps us out a lot, and so we appreciate that. But we still need your help as always. Our young men and women who are serving abroad and so far away from home, we try to give them a taste of home. We try to get them to realize that they're not forgot, that we think of them, we pray for them, we hope that their families are doing okay. But we also look after our veterans. We're friends with a lot of veterans.
Right.
And can you tell them how we share some things with veterans?
Well, at Christmas, we usually go to the nursing homes and they give packages for Christians. I mean, veterans. Not Christians, veterans. And,
they can be both.
Yeah, it can be, but I had Christmas on my mind, you know. But anyway, we also work with the VBA. We worked on the Veterans Day Parade, and we're going to be doing that again next year. And being as we work with the VBA, this Saturday, hopefully it don't rain, we're having a hot dog roast in my backyard with the Blue Star Mothers and the VBA guys and their families. And we just hope it don't rain. We're having a good time. They're going to roast their own hot dogs, and we'll have salads and desserts to go with it. So hopefully it don't rain.
And just really, just kind of, because the VVA and some of these veterans, they help us with a lot of things. They help the Blue Star Mothers with packing the care packages. They help us when we need help with whatever it is. We may be setting up at a fundraiser somewhere, and a couple of the veterans or the VVA guys will come and help us out as we help out with the Wall of Honor and different things around town if it has to do with a veteran. So this is a time for us to get together, and there's no working, there's nothing about our organizations. It's all about just having a good time and sit back and relax and be able to say, hey, we just want to visit, we just want to joke around and have a good time.
And some of these VBA guys live by themselves, and they'll bring containers so that they can take leftovers home with them, and it just, you got any leftovers, anything, so it's enjoyable, you like to see them have a good time.
Well, and I think we was kind of raised in that era that as long as you was feeding somebody and they were left happy with their tummies full, they
Yeah.
was good to go.
Yeah.
So we all of us moms love to cook. We do that quite often. So if you haven't got an invite, give us a call. Our numbers is on there. So, and then we have fundraisers coming up.
We do.
And let's see, the next one is August the 17th, I believe.
I think.
It's I believe it's the second Saturday in August. We'll be at the Ames City
Day.
of Ames, and it's Ames Day. We will set up on Saturday. They'll have games, and they'll have their little turtle shows, and they'll have a meal that the fire department is the fundraising at this event. We're the only outside people that get to come in with anything, and we usually come in with stuff for the kids, and and then we do pies and stuff like that to help us to be able to help them raise money, because there's pie contest, and then they auction off the pies, and
Right.
they auction off some of the meat. So it's a fun day out there, and of course you'll get to see a good fireworks show at the
They
end.
do. They have fireworks at the end.
So that's a good one. And then in August too, I believe it's the 23rd or the 26th, we will be at the Wacomas Fun Day, and I believe it's called Sooner Day.
Yeah.
But anyway, we've been invited out there this year, and so we'll go out there and share in their city-wide fun day. And so come out and see us. A lot of times we'll sell 50-50 tickets. Sometimes you win quite a bit of money with that, and it helps us, and it also helps whoever purchases the ticket. And then September, the
Labor Day.
it's Labor Day weekend. We have a fundraiser at Hedges. We will be selling chances on a $100 gas card. They're $1 a piece, or 6 for $5. And so we need your support, so come out and get a chance to win $100 worth of gas. And after that, I think we have a couple more set up, but they're later on. And I think we'll have another one out at AmVets at Mino sometime in August or the 1st of September. But anyway, we don't have much time left, so we would like to take a few moments to share how we feel about our troops. Would you like to say anything?
Yeah. We also give stars off of the retired flags. We're allowed to cut them off, and we give them out to our soldiers and veterans. And sometimes they get very emotional, but our troops are very dear to us. They appreciate us, and we definitely appreciate them for keeping us safe. And I have a grandson that's up to Fort Drum, and he just come back from Fort Polk and in the swamp, and he got poison ivy and bit by spiders and all kinds of stuff, but we love them all.
Yes, we do. And for the ones who are serving, we hope and pray that they stay safe, and we pray for them as often as we can. And we ask you to do the same. Be sure and keep them in your prayers. Be sure to say hi or thanks when you see a veteran or someone that's in their uniform. And we would like to thank Enid Television for letting us be on. We would like to thank our Enid Police Department too. My gosh, if it wasn't for all of these guys and our fire department and everybody in uniform, we would all be so lost. So thank God for all of them, and thanks to everyone who is serving, no matter where you're at or what you're doing. You're in our thoughts and our prayers. And we would like to say thank you very much. Have a good day.
Hi, I'm Dan Scheidel, the Executive Director of the United Way of Enid in northwestern Oklahoma. Visit us at our website at unitedwayenid.org and watch for us on Community Talk.
Hi, I'm Carmen Ball with Hedges Regional Speech and Hearing Center. And with me today, on behalf of Hedges, is our audiologist on staff, Dr. Kim Tenius. And we're going to talk a little bit today about accessories and fun stuff, although you don't usually think of that with hearing aids and hearing accoutrements. But the thing that started us off was the need for newborn hearing screenings.
Yes, very much so. In the last few days, actually in the last couple of weeks, I'll say that, we've had a lot of kids come in from hearing tests that were done at the hospital right after they were born, and they didn't pass at the hospital. So I was like, okay, we're getting an influx of kiddos coming in, newborn babies, and we're seeing some people that did not pass at the hospital, and we're also actually seeing hearing loss due to different things, family history of hearing loss, different conditions that went on with the birthing process of being born prematurely and their hearing organ was not developed. So we're seeing a few of that. And then also, we just have kids that come in that we have no reason why they have a hearing loss yet until we do some genetic testing. Newborn hearing screening is a thing that is very near and dear to my heart because it was mandated in 1999. The law was passed in all the United States that kids were going to be screened and tested at birth, and then after that, if they didn't pass, they'd be seen by usually a health department, or another screening would be done, or they'd be taken and seen with an audiologist. In 2000, my son was born, and he missed the newborn hearing screening by a few months because the law wasn't fully implemented in all the hospitals, but it was passed. And so if we had known then what we know now, we probably would have picked up his hearing loss a little quicker. So I'm very adamant about the newborn hearing screenings, to get them done. If you do get referred and you don't pass that test, get in to see your audiologist to rest assured that where your hearing is at for your newborn, because anything that we can do to get hearing going early, if they do have a hearing loss, is very important, because that critical stage of birth to 3 years of language building is important. And if we aren't hearing that, then we're not going to be developing our language properly.
I know, and you're happiest when they come in and their hearing is great.
Yes.
They were just a little too wiggly at the hospital.
Yep.
And didn't get a great test. But you've had several recently that have had problems.
I have, and we're doing diagnostic testing on those newborns called an ABR, an auditory brainstem response test, and we like them to be asleep, and usually newborns will sleep for you the best in their first days because they think they're still in the womb. We have them be asleep. They don't have to be sedated. We have equipment out at Hedges that is so that they can be awake during the test or sleeping quietly, and we put electrodes on them, and then we can run the test and see what kind of hearing loss they do have if they do have it. So that's one thing about getting those kids tested early is important and critical for language building.
Yeah. And that was not the topic we were going to talk about originally, but it's just you had several people come in recently that it really made it more important that we talk about it and how important it is to get that follow-up after you get a bad screening.
Right.
To our topic we were originally going to talk about was all of the things that you can get with hearing aids or that help hearing in other forms.
Right.
And you have things to show.
I do. Show and tell.
I think this is just where you show and I ooh and ah.
Okay, that'll be fine. Technology really has changed in the last, 1996 and beyond was when the digital hearing aids came out, and they really have taken off with the use of different accessories. And that's important because in this time of computers and TVs and iPhones and iPads, people want to use their accessories. They want to hear what's being played. Usually it's music. Sometimes it's the YouTube or just something on Facebook, okay? So we have devices that when you wear a simple hearing aid that can stream right into the hearing aid, and you can hear it just as a normal person would wear like an earbud. So we talk about hearing aids, and these are hearing aids, okay? So they go behind the ear, and it's a simple hearing aid that goes behind the ear. I'll show you those right there. They're hearing aids right there. Pretty discreet, pretty small. Like they used to be super big, and now we've really gotten down to where they're hard to find if you lose them, but that's the size of our hearing aids nowadays. We have devices that For instance, this right here is what we call a streamer. This streamer hooks up to this hearing aid, and you push a button and it connects you to your phone, your TV, your computer. I'm trying to think of other Bluetooth devices. Kiddos are using them in the schools to use FM systems with their teachers. There's just a lot of different devices out there that we can use this for. I throw in another one. This is a microphone where, say you have a big hearing loss and you're needing some help with, say you're at the doctor's office and your doctor's speaking to you. The doctor can wear this simple little device on the shoulder right there, or right near the shoulder, and they can stream their voice right into these hearing aids. So it's an awesome time to be, I guess, have a hearing loss if you have to have one, because you get to have the direct voice of that person that you're speaking to right into your ears, so you don't have to be like, huh, what did you say? Repeat that. So these little devices are just accessories that we have out there available to our patients that struggle in those situations, okay? So I'm a big fan of these things. I didn't think that this would be a big deal. I worked with pediatrics for a long time, but my pediatrics, my adults, they all like these devices, and they chomp at the bit for their second appointment with me, because that's when I usually put them in those devices. Put those down. So we talk about hearing aids, and another thing that's really hot topic right now that's really making some big moves is cochlear implant. Mm-hmm. A lot of people have not seen a cochlear implant. They've heard of it. They've heard of this device. A cochlear implant is usually for a person that has hearing loss that is from severe to profound, or hearing aids are they're not benefiting from hearing aids. So we look at the options of doing a cochlear implant and getting them qualified. The surgeon will implant the device, and then everything's done with the audiologist beyond just that implant of the surgery. I did bring a model today. My son has a cochlear implant, and it's one of those things that I really want to push for, because that's something that we've seen great differences in my kiddo. The cochlear implant, I'm going to show you in a minute how it works and what it looks like. Pretty discreet. It gives them great access to sound. One thing I will mention is a lot of these patients, I talk about discreet and not having something flashy on the head. They just want to hear. That's one thing that these people with big hearing losses, having any kind of sound is important to them. They could care less if it's huge. But we got to the point where we're getting pretty small. It's awesome. I'm going to show you what the implant looks like and how it works in just a minute. Nate, you want to come over here? I'm introducing my son, Nate Tenius. Have him stand right here. Have him turn a little bit. Actually, take that back. Let's look at him real quick. Turn around. My son here, Nate, is has had a lot of things happen to him that we were unexpecting, but we are where we are today. He was 3 years old when we found out he did have a hearing loss. He wore a traditional hearing aid in both ears at that point, and then he had a fall where he had a traumatic brain injury. He fell from the roof of our house to cement, and then he lost all of his hearing. And at that point, he just wanted to hear, is what he said. So we waited about a year and decided, cochlear implant was the best option for him. And on him, he's got what we can see here is a cochlear implant on the outside of his ear here. The device that's in his ear looks like this, if you can see that. It's a cochlear implant, and this is the internal part that is inside of his ear. And the surgeon goes in and he places this little curly cue right there, and they put it in the ear, and it's underneath the skin in the inner ear. And I'll say this. On the outside here, now I'm going to take your implant off. There's this external part. This part is the part that it turns on his implant, and he wears this on the outside. He's been wearing it since 2007, and actually he's upgraded several times since then, because the external part, like a computer we have at home, can be upgraded and insurance will pay for it. So when we put this on his ear, there's a magnet right here that's under the skull, and once this attracts to the skull, it turns it on. So he can hear right now with it being attracted. If I take it off, we got nothing, right? You can't hear anything. Carmen can talk about you behind your back, and then he put it on. So we talk about the size on this implant. So that's the big thing is it looks huge. That's what everybody says to me. Oh, it's so big. I go, really? It's not that big compared to what the hearing aids used to be. They did transition and change. They made some changes last year, And the implant now, you can take this completely off and you can actually go to everything on the skull. Nothing's on the ear, everything's free. And he could wear this if he chose that. He likes the behind the ear. He's been wearing it for a very long time. He uses a lot of batteries, because I'll tell you that in a minute why, but that's what it looks like behind the ear. I'm gonna put some sound back on you, okay? All right, there you go. With Nate, do you have your streamer? Let me see it. He's gonna pull his streamer out. You gonna hold that up for him? All right, he uses this little streaming device just like we would use with our phones and our iPads. He's got that hooked up to his computer, to his phone. Anything else? TV? Music. He's got it all hooked up where he just streams right into the implant, and I don't hear it at all. So if you know how big of a hearing loss he is a teenager, so they do like music loud. They should turn it down if it's too loud, but with him, he can stream right into his implant and hear it and dance and do all the different things that he does. The good thing about these implants nowadays, just like the hearing aids, they're water resistant, so they can swim with them. They can do activities outside. If they were having a water balloon fight or something, he can be out there and it not be damaging to his implant. So that's how it's working in our family. He goes to speech therapy. Actually, he just exited speech therapy out at the high school, so now he's using speech that he can hear. He's hearing within normal for hearing with the implant on. That's something everybody asks me, well, how well will I hear? And his hearing is at the normal levels. His brain hears it a little bit different. It's an electrical sound. It's not acoustical like we hear with our ears, but his brain has been trained to hear different sounds and interpret them the way that we would with our normal hearing. And so he's done very well with it. We've been very pleased, and we're expecting great things out of him, right? Do you want to say hello? All right, you can go take a seat. Thank you.
It's just amazing what there is out there, whether you're talking hearing aids, that these are behind the ear but in the ear hearing aids, or cochlear implant receivers that can increase the sound, just incredible things. And just because you had hearing aids maybe a few years ago, don't think that that's all there is.
Right.
Investigate more. Don't let the quality of your life go down because you're just not checking it out.
Right.
And
I failed to mention one thing. I mean,
No,
interrupt.
please.
I see it back behind me. One thing, I have a lot of doctors out there, nurses, paramedics, using stethoscopes. I didn't mention this earlier. I think about it a lot, but I'm like, this is a stethoscope that can be streamed right into the hearing aids, and a person that has a hearing loss can use these and hear the heartbeat like they should, and breath sounds and all those different things that they're supposed to hear. Because I have a lot of the medical community that have hearing loss that they're like, gosh, how do I hear on the stethoscope? It's almost impossible because it's such a soft sound, and I'm trying to make the right diagnosis. This one's an amplified stethoscope. I have one where it sinks right into the hearing aid, and several of my doctors have been very impressed with what the sound quality is, and that was important to me because I don't want a doctor not be able to hear and get the wrong diagnosis. I also had it used with a veterinarian too. He used it and he said, you know what, it worked. And I was like, wow, how many different animals do you see that you got to listen to the sounds?
Yeah.
Wouldn't have any idea. But that's the new thing that's out there, is the Bluetooth for the stethoscopes.
there's always new things coming and going with hearing, and we are both hearing and speech out at Hedges Speech and Hearing. And please make an appointment, come out and talk with us, whether it's speech or hearing. You have a great place in town to go to for reference, for services. And as you can tell, Kim is wonderful about her field and has personal experience with it. So thank you very much for your time. I'm Carmen Ball, and this is Dr. Kim Tinius with Hedges Speech and Hearing. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Tricia Mitchell, Executive Director with the For Our Kids Foundation, whose mission is to provide support to children and adults with disabilities. Please look for us on Community Talk.